Welcome to Brands Hatch for the Formula Ford Festival, and we've got a huge amount of racing coming your way from within the Formula Ford umbrella. Now, Formula Fords have no rear wing, therefore they have no downforce, and it all comes down to individual driver ability. We've had unbelievably changeable weather this weekend, and the track is extremely greasy. It's going to be very, very exciting. First up, we have the Zetec and Duratec semi-final, sponsored by Haynes Watts.
Dutch driver Bart van Os on pole position with compatriot Max van Splunteren alongside. Then it's Frederik Schandorf, the Dane. Jason Down, the top Brit, is fourth. Then Abdelahmed Paul Silius on his outside. Then Rob Shield and Thomas Cranecore. Then Eric Hudicourt, the pole for the Zetecs. Patrick Rausch, Joe Zosso, Julian Hoskins, former Zetec Festival winner, John Salmona and Nigel Wickham completing the 14-car grid for this semi-final. Van Os on pole position, and behind him Max van Splunteren, who leads the International Formula Ford North Sea Series. It's a great start from the series leader, but a cracking start as well from Abdelahmed. Very quick off the line from the second row, third row in actual fact, and up into fourth position, challenging for third on the outside line. The black car is the Dane, Frederik Schandorf. So he's there as well. The orange and white car of Paul Silius is there in the mix too. What a cracking start. And it's the Dane into second place. So the Dane gets between the two Dutchmen. It's Bart van Os leading, and this is going to be crucial for his championship, as well as the festival. Of course, they've got this series to think about as well. So the Dane coming under pressure. Max van Splunteren trying to put the pressure on the second place Dane. Then it's Abdelahmed. Jason Down in the two-tone blue and white Magal is there as well. He's the top British driver, qualified fourth, but he's lost 2 places on his grid position. Goes through shot now. We got the Zetecs as well, headed by Eric Hudicourt, who was the pole position sitter from Patrick Rausch and Joe Zosso. Big pressure though, the Dane in the black car coming under pressure. Magal shutting out the places in the Duratec, Ford Duratec class. Now the main festival this weekend is actually reverting to the cars powered by the Ford Kent engine, which hasn't been the case since Jan Magnussen won the championship, and there's a lot of speculation about Jan's son coming into Formula 1 this year, so perhaps timely that we've got the main festival being Kent based, but running well here in the title, which incidentally was won by Xavier Michel last year, the French driver. Max van Splunteren putting pressure on the Dane in second position, and Schandorf going a little bit wide and loses out, so the Dane's down into third place. Abdelahmed's coming up as well and challenging him, but it's the two Dutch drivers, Van Os from Van Splunteren at the moment, down into Graham Hill Bend. This is crucial. Of course, we've got this North Sea Series going on, as well as the Racing for Festival honours here. It's a major championship which attracts drivers from all over the world racing in Formula Ford. So the Duratec, this is going to incidentally give pole position for the final. Back down the order, Abdelahmed and Paul Silius busy racing hard for position along Cooper Straight. Ahmed with the upper hand at the moment. Silius in the number 9 car is there as well. The car being lapped is Nigel Wickham, the Zetec, the slower class of car. So Nigel pulls clear, and we've really got a scrap on for lead position here. Van Os getting pretty defensive. They come down into Graham Hill Bend, but Van Splunteren chasing him hard, thinks about looking up the inside, goes back to the outside. That's the turn-in for into Surtees, now coming up to McLaren and then up into Clearways. A wider line into Clearways, could slingshot down the inside on the straight, but it looks like Van Os has got enough in reserve here. We'll see whether Splunteren can carry the speed onto the straight, but it's Bart van Os that wins the Haynes Watts semi-final here for the Duratec and Zetec class cars. Van Os winning. Van Splunteren takes fastest lap. Frederik Schandorf in third from Jason Down. He was top Brit. Thomas Cranecore, then Paul Silias, Abdul Ahmed in 7th from Rob Shield. Top Zetec runner Joe Zosso from Julian Hoskins. Eric Hudicourt next from Patrick Rausch. John Salmona and Nigel Wickham fastest lap in the Zetec's going to Joe Zosso.
The winner of the semi-final, which puts him in a very strong position for the final coming up a little bit later on. But how was that?
Yeah, it was really nice. I think this is the best race of the whole season. But this morning Max was 1 point in front of me in the championship, and I think now I'm 2 points in front of him.
Well, we've seen all the action from the semi-final. It's now time for the final of the Formula Ford Duratec and Zetec, sponsored by Andrew Elliott for Kent, Surrey, Sussex Air Ambulance. Let's go straight over to Richard for the grid.
Let's see who's going to succeed. Last year's festival winner in the Duratecs, Antti Burri. Bart Venos on pole, Max van Splunteren alongside, then it's Frederik Schandorf and Jason Down, top Brit in 4th place, so the home crowd will be rooting for him. Thomas Cranecore and then Paul Silias, Abdul Ahmed, Rob Shield, Joe Zosso on pole for the Duratecs from Julian Hoskins, former winner in 2010. Eric Hudicourt and then Patrick Rausch, John Salmona and Nigel Wickham completing the 14-car grid. Green flag from the back of the field. Bart Vanoss will be looking for another cracking start from pole position to make it a perfect weekend for him. Hasn't been the fastest race lap of the weekend thus far. That's gone to his compatriot Van Splunteren, who runs well. Another cracking start from Abdul Ahmed, who flies, as Brian Jones would say, high, wide and handsome into Paddock Hill Bend, down into Halewoods. It's a cracking start by Ahmed, then he's followed by Thomas Cranecore as they go up into Druids for the first time. Jason Down on the inside, Paul Silias round the outside, Cranecore spins, Silias gets taken out as well. Schandorf has come through that, of course, unscathed out front. Bart Venos and Max Splunteren as we look at 84, Eric Hudicourt, who is running well in the Zetec, but it's of course the Duratecs up front. It's the Dane leading, Frederik Schandorf, the Dane leading from the two Dutchmen who are fighting over championship honours as well. Onto the outside line at Paddock Hill Bend goes Van Splunteren. He's off! He's off the circuit. That is the festival gone. That is the International Formula Ford North Series gone as well. And that leaves Bart Venos in 2nd position in the race, but it's the Dane leading this international series that has run at Snetterton here in the UK, Spa and Zandvoort, Hjulenstringen in Denmark as well, and the Dane is leading this one at the moment along Cooper Straight into Surtees. Abdul Ahmed running in 3rd place. This is Joe Zosso who's coming under pressure. Joe in the Tatu Zetec class car coming under pressure from local hero Jason Down. So Jason working hard and trying to get that 88 car through. Took 4th position in the semi-final, and Jason could well be on course for that result again, so he's working real hard. Up into Druids, and Jason still chasing hard, but up front the Dane and Dane American and indeed a Dutch driver fighting it out. Jason Down at the moment can't seem to do anything about Joe Zosso, who won his semi-final. The Zetecs have been mightily competitive, with Eric Hudicourt taking pole position. Jason looks up the inside. Slight mistake there from Zosso, who qualified 3rd on the grid prior to the semi-final. Out of the slipstream comes Jason Down and tries to make the pass. Meanwhile, this is the battle for the lead now. Bart Venos leading from Abdul Ahmed. So it's the Team USA driver in 2nd position, and Bart Venos looking to make it a double this weekend. Abdul Ahmed is closing in on him, but the number 7 car retains the lead. 1 win so far. This is going to secure the series for him. Venos has been racing in Clio Cup as well in Holland. He's done 2 races in that this year. Took 3 wins at Zandvoort in the North Sea Series and 2 wins at Snetterton. I can tell you we've got the 2010 winner Julian Hoskins. Looks like he is going to make it a double, because Hoskins is leading the Zetec class, which is great news. It's Frederik Schandorf still in 3rd position. But Abdelhamid closing up, big time here, hand over fist. Now this is Bart van Os maybe just saving a little bit, keeping it steady on the last lap. But that gap, in Formula Ford terms, unless there's a big problem for the Dutchman out front, I think is going to be safe for him. Through Surtees for the last time. Ahmed still very much on the gas and chasing hard. But at the moment it's Netherlands first, USA second, Denmark in third place and Great Britain fourth. Jason Down is in fourth place. Nigel Wickham's going to be lapped as they come down to the checkered flag. Bart van Os wins for the Netherlands. Abdelhamid second. Van Os takes the festival for the Duratecs from Ahmed and Shandorf. Jason Down fourth from Paul Silias. And the Zetec winner is Julian Hoskins for the second time in his career. John Salmona next from Thomas Cranecore, Eric Hudicourt and Nigel Wickham.
That was a very strange race, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was strange, but yeah, I'm the happy man now. Yeah, I had a little bit luck, but yeah, that's racing. Max, it was his own fault, and yeah, so that's racing. I'm now the champion and the festival winner, so I'm happy, and that's important for me.
Well, so far we have been utterly spoilt for action here at Brands Hatch at the Formula Ford Festival. Join us after the break. Welcome back to Brands Hatch. Now coming up we've got heats 1 and 2 from the Formula Ford Festival, plus the historic cars as well. Let's go straight over to Richard, who's going to talk us through the action.
Thanks, Bryn. A feast for anyone who's followed Formula Ford from the golden years. James Buckton on pole position, then Johnny McMullen, Conor Murphy and Richard Tarling on the outside of row 2. Innes Hickman next, Klaus Dieter Hackel in 6th from Ian Geary, then Jamie Jardine, Philip Atwood 9th, Christopher Stones alongside, then Anders Vleudegaard and Kevin Howell in 12th place. Buckton the pre-72 and outright pole, Johnny McMullen the pre-90 pole, Richard Tarling 4th on the grid, the pre-82. There's a gap where Conor Murphy should be on the grid. It's a great start by Richard Tarling, who gets across and challenges for second position with Johnny McMullen out front as they come down into Hales the first time. Tarling on the outside, the light blue and white car challenging for second place. In fact, that's the lead, because the pre-72 car, James Buckton, perhaps as expected, is back to third place. The 1971 Eldon, probably one of the oldest cars taking part in the festival, and Richard Tarling all over the back of the young Irishman, but it's Johnny McMullen who leads at the moment from Richard Tarling. McMullen, the 21-year-old from Newton Abbey in Northern Ireland, third in the Northern Irish Formula Ford Championship, goes wide and through goes Richard Tarling past the 2010 Northern Ireland Formula Ford champion. Richard Tarling, of course, a name you'll know, who was destined to go on to great things, the 1999 Formula Palmer Audi champion. He's in the lead as they go around paddock for the second time, and Johnny McMullen trying to challenge hard. You can see an eclectic field of cars baking it through, but it's the 1980 Van Diemen of Richard Tarling who is still there out front. 1980, of course, the year that the Van Diemen Mark won the festival with Brazilian Roberto Moreno driving. The 1989 car that he's chasing is a Mondial, Irish-built car, but Van Diemen won the festival that year as well. And strangely, another Brazilian, Nico Pilares, in the Van Diemen RF89, but he's got the Mondial all over the back of him at the moment, has Richard Tarling. Great to see Tarling back in harness this year and proving that he's lost none of his skill. So down the order, and looking at Innes Hickman in 91, the Van Diemen RF89, and leading the Dulon DL9 of Ian Geary, Ian running in the pre-72 class. Christopher Stones in the RF88, Vincenzo Sospiri winning the festival in 88, and he's running well, and as you can see, very much engaged in battle with James Buckton, the Harrogate-based youngster who's a young ambassador for Chevron in the 1971 built Eldon. Very much punching above its weight, that car. And great to see young drivers using historic Formula Ford as a chance to get on the racing ladder and make a name for themselves. And well done to Chevron for having a young ambassador in their midst. James Buxton doing a cracking job and working hard, challenging for 5th position. He'll go for the class win as well. Looks down the inside, so very clearly winning his class, and now looking for that 4th place. An overall podium would be good as well. Up ahead of them, Klaus-Dieter Hackel in his Van Diemen RF88 is in 3rd place and running 2nd in the pre-90 class at the moment. But Chris Stones in 42 hangs on to 4th place on track. 3rd place in class here. It's Johnny McMullen and Richard Tarling still out front, dicing over the overall lead of this historic festival final. So James Buxton across the line, down into paddock again. Incredible, this car now some 42 years old, but still chasing hard. Some love and attention lavished on it in the workshops over the years. Johnny McMullen, though, the 2010 Formula Ford champion, came up through karts. He was the pre-90 champion in 2012 as well, and he's on his way here. He's got a good lead over Richard Tarling, so the newer class has excelled over the slightly older pre-82s. Richard Tarling's going to take a class win in 2nd, but it's the young Ulsterman, Johnny McMullen, who's driven a superb race out of clearways for the last time, around Clark Curve and onto the Bradford Straight to win the historic festival final, sponsored by Andrew Elliott for the JDRF. Across the line, there's the checkered flag. McMullen wins, the gap over 8 seconds back to Richard Tarling. McMullen the winner, Richard Tarling wins the pre-82 class, James Buxton wins pre-72, Klaus-Dieter Hackel in 3rd ahead of him. Then it was Chris Stones, James Hagan, Jamie Jardine from Kevin Howe in his Hickman, Ian Geary and Philip Atwood in 11th place. Fastest laps to McMullen, Tarling and Buxton.
Great finale to the season, wasn't it? 4th on track, but a class winner.
Yeah, couldn't hope for much more with the modern cars. The pre-90 cars are just a bit faster when it's greasy. My car particularly is horrible in the wet, so it was set up half wet, half dry, and I made it to the end. That's the main thing.
When did you make the call about the setup?
Just as we were rolled out onto the grid, so it was like I was still adjusting the shockers just as we were setting off. So it was a good call, I think.
Oh, James, well done. Nice class win.
Thank you.
Klaus-Dieter, 3rd place.
Yeah, for me it's okay for the historics. I want to be in the grand final, but I'm only 15 in the semis, so this finalist for me is a good surprise. Good surprise. Yeah.
Okay, Richard, 2nd on track, class winner.
Yeah, pre-82 class winner and 2nd on track. I tried to keep Johnny behind me as much as I could, hoping it was going to rain some more, because then I would have been better with my car in the rain. But it dried out a bit too much and he just managed to get past me.
How much of a tough customer is he?
Yeah, it was hard to keep him behind, and eventually just towed past me down the straight really, and couldn't really do anything about it.
Jonathan, a win.
Yeah, we always did expect we were quick here, and we're probably the quickest pre-90 car about we are, so yeah, great win. Now we need to move on to the main final itself.
Well, you say you expect to win and things, or you expect to do really well, but there's one thing about expecting, another thing actually getting the result out of it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Richard put me under pressure at the start, so he got a great start, but I mean, the final is the most important thing to me, so didn't want to risk it too much and just let Richard go to start, but we knew we were quick on him, so we just got the job done and passed him and drove away really.
The Kent cars have a gruelling schedule this weekend. This is Heat 1, Joey Foster leading away from pole. Scott Hargrove, the young Canadian, making a good start. The red and black cars, they go down to paddock for the first time. 24 cars in this first heat, and they'll meet up with different drivers in the semi-final stage, and wherever you finish basically determines where you start in your respective semi-final, and then of course into the finals. But it's a cracking start to the most gruelling part of the festival, and the Kents this year, the main formula, so the main champion. Whoever wins the Kent will be the overall festival winner. Joey Bickers, one of the 2 Team USA drivers in car 21, the blue and white machine running well, but it's Joey Foster, double festival champion in the past, that's showing the way here. in the mix as well. Neville Smith in the blue Ray. It was almost a Ray rout in qualifying. The top 6 places, 5 of them were Rays, and we're on board with Laurie Hughes, the Scotsman, in the historic pre-82 Van Diemen RF 78. This year that Michael Rowe won the championship, appropriately in a Van Diemen RF 78. Niall Murray putting big pressure on here with Scott Hargrove in 19. Niall qualified second, but finds himself a little bit further back than he would like to be at the moment. Oh, and that's Conor Murphy. The Irishman spins out in the very distinctive Van Diemen RF 83 running in the pre-90 class, but Joey Foster comes through to take the win. Joey Bickers in second from Neville Smith, Zachary Robicon, then it's Scott Hargrove and Niall Murray, Ben Mitchell in 7th from Ivan McCullough, Richard Tarling, Patrick McKenna. So those cars all go through to the semi-final stage, and then ultimately, of course, they'll be hoping to make it into a good position for the final. Fastest lap in Heat 1 going to Joey Foster. On to Heat 2 here, Wayne Boyd in red on pole position. Johnny McMullen is on the outside, but Luke Cooper in the blue and white car coming up the inside has a great go through. Ollie White's coming through as well in black. On board with former Scottish champion Graham Carroll, and round the outside goes Jake Eadson from third on the grid. A little bit slow off the start, Jake, but recovering well. Kevin O'Hara in front of us as well. Sideways moment for the American. Graham Carroll's coming through. Meanwhile, the race leader is having problems. In the distance, the red dot going off on the grass is Joey Foster, who's off, and Graham Carroll's having problems as well. Carroll has problems. He rejoins. So Graham Carroll in the blue Van Diemen RF 91 back on circuit. A major shake-up here. Jeff Richardson in white up ahead of Jake Byrne. Richardson qualifying in 10th, Jake Byrne 11th, so those two still engaged in their battle here at Brands Hatch. So Kevin O'Hara is coming under a little bit of pressure here. O'Hara in the yellow, white and blue car, but coming through with a sensational drive from third on the grid. He dropped back in the early stages, but comes through to lead Heat 2. He's going to win it. It's the American driver Jake Eadson ahead of Steve Daly in second position. Steve's come up from 8th on the grid. It's been a cracking heat, but the American, he's 3.3 seconds clear of Steve Daly, takes Heat 2. Eadson from Daly, Ollie White up into third, Johnny McMullen, then Noel Dunn, Wayne Boyd, Kevin O'Hara, Sean Doyle, Jake Byrne and Luke Cooper complete the top 10. Graham Carroll recovers for 11th, then Jeff Richardson, Josh Barnett, Luke Rosewell, Guy Erskine, Jordan Albert, James Buckton, James Hagan, Sean Macklin and Kevin Howell completing the top 20. Philip Atwood the other finisher, and fastest lap to Sean Doyle.
Welcome back to Brands Hatch. Right now we've got the first semi-final from the Formula Ford Festival Kent, sponsored by NCPI Solutions.
Thanks, Bryn. Joey Foster takes pole position with Steve Daly alongside, and here's confirmation of that. On row 2, Neville Smith and Johnny McMullen, then Scott Hargrove and Wayne Boyd. Row 4, Ben Mitchell with Sean Doyle, and they're followed by Richard Tarling and Luke Cooper. The first half of the grid completed by David McCullough and Jeff Richardson. 24 cars on the grid for this first semi-final. Laurie Hughes and Adrian Hamilton trying to make progress from the back of the grid. 10 years since Joey Foster won his first of 2 festival titles. Will he do the same again this year? Certainly pole in this first semi-final is the place to be, but he's got Steve Daly on the outside, who makes a fantastic getaway. Daly leads into paddock. Neville Smith's in third place, then it's Johnny McMullen in the white Mondial in fourth. Big squabble going on behind them. Wayne Boyd is there as well. Wayne Boyd, the red Van Diemen with the yellow helmet, already making progress. Down behind him is Sean Doyle. then Ben Mitchell in blue, but it was a cracking start by Steve Daly. Joey Foster behind him and coming under pressure from Neville Smith. Then it's Scott Hargrove, the red and black car, the young Canadian driver, running well in 4th position. So the more modern machinery, as we'd expect, taking hold at the top of the field. Coming offline is Joey Foster, the Cornishman, gets it slightly sideways, looking for grip on the outside, and he's gone through! He's got past! Amazing manoeuvre by Joey Foster, who takes the lead. He surely doesn't need to do any more than that to put himself in with a shot of a great position for the final. Johnny McMullen coming under pressure from Sean Doyle. Down behind them is Ben Mitchell. So let's see whether McMullen can maybe chase Smythe here. Oh, Ben Mitchell's looking at the inside, the clash between the two cars. And I tell you what, I don't think Sean Doyle's going to be over happy with that. He's gesticulating. What are you doing? He's saying. Maybe wasn't room. It's very difficult to judge sometimes where you've got big grids of these very nimble and agile Formula Ford 1600s. This is the first season for a while that we've seen the Ford Kents taking centre stage. Last time was 1992 with Jan Magnussen won, and of course there's talk of Jan's son Kevin going into Formula One next season. That's exactly what the festival's all about. Young talent coming through the single-seater ladder. Of course, the EcoBoost Formula Fords this year running with slicks and wings. We've seen some great racing from them. They're not part of the festival at the moment, as we celebrate the heritage of the Kents, the Zetecs and the Duratecs as well, having their separate races. And Joey Foster, he's up and away with this one at the moment. Neville Smith from Johnny McMullen. Scott Hargrove in 4th position. Sounds good here, 4th position, but it's going to put it back on the 4th row of the grid for the final. That's what they're fighting for. Each place is a row on the grid back in the final. The faster semi will determine who gets pole position. Into Druids, McMullen working hard, looks at the inside line here, and I think he's going to effect the pass on Smith. He does that. So he goes through. Down behind him as well, Sean Doyle is still there as well. So Sean trying to make up positions, goes wide on Cooper Straight into Surtees. Still Joey Foster out front. Just one retirement so far, James Hagan in the Reynard 88 FF. Reynard's, of course, for the non-aficionados of Formula Ford, had the FF after the year number. The Van Diemen's had RF, and then the year that they were first race, and the Reynolds were the other way round. On to the last lap. Joey Foster leads this one. It's Wayne Boyd in second. Wayne Boyd challenging hard, but he's still some way down. He's over a second down on Joey Foster, who's out front. Looking up the inside is Ben Mitchell. I think he's going to get the place done. I think Joey Foster is going to at least be on the front row of the final. Joey Foster won the festival 2 years in succession. Zetec winner in 2003, Kent winner in 2004, and he's looking to do that again this year along the Brabham Straight, and it's the semi-final win for Joey Foster. Wayne Boyd will take second. Stephen Daly from the outside of the front row will claim 3rd place. There's Daly across the line, just ahead of Scott Hargrove. Johnny McMullen in 5th from Neville Smythe. Then Ben Mitchell. Luke Cooper came home in 8th position ahead of Sean Doyle and Richard Tarling. Ben Mitchell getting fastest lap of the race in his 99. Then it was Jeff Richardson, David McCulloch, Luke Roswell, Jordan Albert, Klaus-Dieter Hackel, Jamie Joddy, Chris Stones, Adrian Hamilton, Anders Flodegard and Kevin Howe in 20th.
Joey Foster, 1st place, great semi-final heat for you.
Yeah, that's quite a race actually. I mean, I thought I wasn't going to get a good run off the line because we're on the wet side of the track, and it's exactly what happened. We got a bad start, Stephen got in front, but made a bit of a mistake into clearways and actually ended up on the grippy side of the track, which gave me a great run out and down the straight. So I got back past him, then I managed to hang on for the win.
Well, that was semi-final number 1. Now it's time for semi-final number 2 from the Formula Ford Festival Kent, sponsored by NCPI Solutions.
Jake Eadson starts on pole position, and Team America teammate Joey Bickers alongside. On row 2, it's Oliver White and Zachary Robichon, then Noel Dunn and Niall Murray in 6th position. 7th, Kevin O'Hara with Ivor McCulloch, then Jake Byrne and Patrick McKenna, Graham Carroll and Scott Mokes rounding out the first half of, again, a very healthy grid. Phil Waldron lines up at the back in 23rd place. Marshall signify that all is well at the back of the field. Eidson and Bickers. Now, can Bickers have a superb start as we saw in semi-final number 1 from Steve Daly? Yes, he does. The outside seems to be working well. So, cracking start by Joey Bickers, who leads his teammate around Paddock Hill Bend for the first time. Down Halewoods, side-by-side action going on. This is always the most crucial lap as the cars are bunched up coming into the hairpin at Druids for the first time. Scene of many a safety car period as cars get pitched off into the gravel, but not on this occasion. Looks like it's been a very good start as well. Robichon's off on the dirt. Oh, and it's the barrier. Robichon's out. Heavily waved yellows now. That's going to slow the progress from the guys hoping to make it through from the back of the field in the early stages. And Ollie White's coming through on the inside. White challenging. Bickers runs wide. He's coming up the inside, on board with Phil Waldron, one of the drivers starting towards the back of the field and trying to make progress, which he's doing in the, as far as I'm aware, unique this weekend Spectrum 011C, and he passes Connor Murphy. So Murphy passed 116, the Van Diemen RF 83. That was probably one of the years where Van Diemen didn't win the festival. Andrew Gilbert Scott winning in a Reynard 83F that year. James Buckton in the 1971 Eldon. Of course, we've also already seen him racing in the historic festival as well. And anything, the Kent cars can obviously race in the overall festival as well as having the historic one. Connor Murphy chasing hard in his 1983 machine, but the engineering on the Eldon just goes to show how competitive those cars were. Niall Murray's through. Ivor McCulloch is there as well, chasing him through. His compatriot looking to try and get past, but it's Ollie White and Noel Dunn out front at the moment. Noel Dunn's had a terrific run from the 3rd row of the grid, but Ollie White from the 2nd row. The Team America runners have dropped back down the order. I think it's probably fair to say that the rest of the field may be having the measure in the drier conditions, but you have to say the wet conditions really showing the talent of the young Americans coming over here to race at Brands Hatch, past Robichon's stranded Ray along Cooper Straight, very much out of the race, but Noel Dunn's putting big pressure on now. So Noel Dunn, Noel Murray in 3rd place, then it's Ivor McCulloch, Jake Eidson, Joey Bickers, the two teammates still together, pretty much equal on talent. Through as well goes Connor Murphy, who might find himself lapped before the end of the race, but Noel Dunn's through now into the lead. Dunn leading from White, then it's Niall Murray, Ivor McCulloch. Niall Murray's had his debut season in Formula Ford this year and looks like a 3rd row start for him at the moment if things stay the way they are, but Ollie White is challenging hard. White, another product of junior racing. We used to see drivers back in the day moving up from karting into Formula Ford, and I can well remember the likes of Jenson Button and of course Lewis Hamilton making their Brands Hatch debuts in years gone by from karting. No junior main Formula 4 as we go on to the last lap, but Niall Murray's come up through junior racing, so too has Ollie White. I'm not sure they're going to lap Connor Murphy. I think Connor's far enough in front, but Niall Murray seems to be on a charge. The 3rd place car closing in, but it's Noel Dunn still from Ollie White. White, the youngster from Bath, the Saxmax champion in 2009, is working hard. Is he going to be able to grab this front row slot? This is the quicker of the 2 semi-finals, so although the drivers might not necessarily know it, they're vying for pole position in the final. Still out front, Noel Dunn looks like he's got the job done here. He comes out of Clark Curve and onto the Brabham Straight. Dunn is going to win the semi-final. Murphy's going to have to do another lap. Dunn wins it. Ollie White 2nd, Niall Murray 3rd, Ivor McCulloch in 4th from Jake Eidson, Joey Bickers in 6th from Graham Carroll, And then Scott Mokes, Jake Byrne, Josh Barnett crosses the line in 10th. Then Luke Williams from Kevin O'Hara. Guy Erskine, Ben Anderson 14th from Phil Waldron, James Buckton 16th from Sean Macklin. Then Connor Murphy, Innes Hickman and Ian Geary, Philip Atwood in 21st. Fastest lap to Jake Eadson, the American.
Dragging you away from the racing you're watching there. You can't get enough of it. Wow, a win, a podium, number one, happy days.
Yeah, it was good. Considering yesterday we really struggled in the west. So like I was saying a few minutes ago, we actually we revalved the dampers to try. We thought it was going to be wet today, but it was a compromise setting for that race. But we're happy. A few more alterations, and I'd say we'd be strong in the final.
Welcome back to Brands Hatch. We've already had two amazingly fantastic semi-finals in the Formula Ford Kent. It's now time for the final. Over to Richard.
Thanks very much, Bryn. It's Noel Dunn on pole position with Joey Foster alongside. Row 2, Ollie White and Wayne Boyd. On row 3, it's Niall Murray and Steve Daly. Then it's Ivor McCulloch and Scott Hargrove. They're followed by Jake Eadson and Johnny McMullen. Then it's Joey Bickers and Neville Smith. On row 7, Graham Carroll and Ben Mitchell, followed by Scott Mokes and Luke Cooper. On row 9, Jake Byrne and Sean Doyle, followed by Josh Barnett and Richard Tarling. Then it's Luke Williams and Jeff Richardson, row 11. Row 12, Kevin O'Hara and David McCulloch. Guy Erskine and Luke Rosewell on the next row of the grid. And then Ben Anderson with Jordan Albert at the back of the field. Well, who would want to be on pole position? Noel Dunn had the faster semi-final, but the outsiders proved to be quick so far. Lights out, away we go on the 2013 Formula Ford Festival final. It's a great start from Dunn. He gets a brilliant pole position start. Joey Foster was no slouch either and slots into second position ahead of Ollie White in third. Very busy around paddock for the first time. But it's Noel Dunn that leads. Having a go round the outside is Oliver White, side by side with the double champion, who leaves room, to be fair to him. That was clean racing from the pair, and going through is Ollie White. It's Joey Foster down to third. He's 2 places away from making it a hat-trick of festival wins. He's coming under pressure now as well from Wayne Boyd, who started and is still in 4th position. Coming up for 5th, here's Niall Murray looking on the inside line. He started 5th as well, but battling hard as we go with former Scottish champion Graham Carroll working hard here. Comes to the outside line at Paddock Hill Bend. He's got one of the Team America cars inside. I think that's Jake Eadson. Actually, probably Joey Bickers, because Joey started behind him. Team America car takes the wide line. In fact, it's the 2 American cars there, as through goes Neville Smith on the inside, and Wayne Boyd going through and past Joey Foster. Foster's down another position. Niall Murray senses he could go through as well. One wheel on the grass, side by side into Surtees, and Niall Murray still side by side with the double champion and goes through. Niall Murray's going through. Scott Hargrove's coming through as well, the Surrey-based youngster, not Surrey in the UK, but in British Columbia. So Hargrove coming through. We've got the safety car out. Problem for Jordan Albert in his Van Diemen, meaning that the race is going to be slowed down. Driver's hands aloft. Oh, getting ready for the restart. Noel Dunn, having had a cracking start from pole position on the standing start, has now got to do it all again. It looks like he's reading it well at the moment from Oliver White second. Then Wayne Boyd in third place. And here they come. Noel Dunn, of course, the winner of the Kent Festival back in 2006, hoping to regain the title here. Got oil flag out as well as the greens, just to, and of course the first driver is the one that's got the difficult part of finding any slippery conditions that are there. Niall Murray challenging for third place at the moment, working hard. Wayne Boyd in front of him, then it's Joey Foster. The Canadian didn't go through. Scott Hargrove still there in 6th position. Car's greeted by greens right the way round the circuit now. And Noel Dunn still out front from Oliver White, who's putting the pressure on. Niall Murray looking pretty handy in 4th place at the moment. Murray challenging hard. This is going to take the pressure off Ollie White. Looks to the inside line, goes back out to the racing line towards Paddock Hill Bend. Thinks about looking down the inside of Wayne Boyd. Boyd's definitely under pressure. Niall Murray then, just with 1 season of Formula Ford under his belt so far, and putting that pressure on, but the battle for the lead still on with the pole position man Noel Dunn really making it count on 2 starts. Fantastic stuff for him so far. Steve Daly in black, Ivor McCullough as well going through, back with Graham Carroll along Cooper Straight. Up in front of us we've got Ben Mitchell, so Ben's been in the thick of things all weekend as well. Neville Smith is 1 car in front of them, and I think then Johnny McMullen. So on the grid lines we come here at Brands Hatch, and across the line Graham Carroll trying to get up into a top 10 position here at Brands Hatch. The Scotsman working hard at the wheel. You really get a sense of the speed, the drop away. Paddock, but a change for the lead. Something's happened between the race leaders, and we've got the car that was in 4th place now in the lead. Niall Murray is leading this one from Wayne Boyd, with Ollie White in 3rd. And what has happened to Noel Dunn? Let's have a look. Noel Dunn's back. He's one of the white cars there. Something's happened, and we've got Wayne Boyd challenging for the lead as they go into paddock, but it's all shaken up here in the final. Up into Druids we go, and Dunn and Boyd's dropped away now, and that leaves Niall Murray in lead position. I think the dust that was kicked up must have been Wayne Boyd, who was running 2nd. So Oliver White's up to 2nd place, Boyd down to 3rd. The Canadian Scott Hargrove is in 4th place. Then it's, I think, Jake Eadson. The Team America car is next. So it's all changed as we look at Ollie White running in 2nd. Wayne Boyd is there in 3rd place. It is indeed Jake Eadson, followed by Ivor McCullough. Then Noel Dunn now back in 7th. It's not going to be a 2nd title for Dunn unless we get another safety car and a chance to come through. Ivor McCullough, the Irish champion for this year, has won the last 2 Kent festivals. So it looks like a hat-trick for him. He's going to be out of the question as well. Steve Daly was 2nd in the Irish Championship, and this man, Niall Murray, 2nd in his class and 3rd overall in his 1st season, after coming up through the ranks, raced in karts, in cadets, Minimax, KF3, Junior Rallycross. He was Ginetta Junior Ireland champion and raced in the UK Ginetta Junior Championship on the touring car package, and has come through to lead this one. We've got a great scrap on for 2nd as Wayne Boyd's trying to fight back. Ollie White goes wide, Boyd's lost the car up the inside. At the moment it's a Van Diemen 1-2-3, it's not going to change here, but it's going to be a different Van Diemen into 2nd. Onto the last lap goes Niall Murray. Wayne Boyd's got the fastest lap of the race, 50.557, very nearly 90 mile an hour average here on the Indy circuit at Brands Hatch. But Niall Murray looks like he's on course to take the festival and make a bit of history. Here he is. The teenager who impressed us in Junior Formula has now taken an opportunistic win here. He's raced hard. He was up with Wayne Boyd in the early stages and capitalised on the events in this race to come through. He's got a good lead. It's over a 2.5 seconds. Wayne Boyd's up to 2nd. Scott Hargrove's closing up in 3rd. Ollie White's there as well. Oliver White, the former Saxmax champion, testament to the junior formula that we have in the UK. But here is Niall Murray, who's going to take the win. He's delighted, punches the air with delight. Murray wins it. Wayne Boyd 2nd from Ollie White, Scott Hargrove, Jake Eadson, Ivor McCullough in 6th from Noel Dunn 7th. 8th position goes to Steve Daly, then Johnny McMullen. Joey Foster in 10th place, denied a 3rd festival. Graham Carroll, our onboard driver, finishes 11th from Ben Mitchell, Josh Barnett, Sean Doyle, Jake Byrne, Kevin O'Hara, Luke Williams, David McCullough, Jeff Richardson, then Luke Rosewell, Richard Tarling 21st from Ben Anderson. Fastest lap of the race to Wayne Boyd.
Well, what an end to an amazing weekend's worth of racing here, and a very happy victor, Niall. Brilliant.
It's just fantastic. I just can't really believe it. I was fairly quick in testing during the week, and I just thought like we might actually have a chance at this if it stays dry. If in the wet, the Van Diemen's were nowhere really. So I was really doing the rain dance outside the awning there, trying to keep the rain away. I'm just absolutely delighted. It's obviously a massive thanks to my whole family, to my dad and Owen and our mechanic Polly for running the car superbly all weekend. I took a corner off it on a Friday, which obviously didn't really help our testing efforts, but they put it back together and the car is absolutely perfect. And another big massive thanks to Noel Dunn, who's been helping us all year with the setup, and Mike Gardner was here this weekend helping us as well. So it was really like everyone is just so helpful. Everybody throughout the whole year. It's my first year in single seaters, and throughout the whole year everybody is just giving us a hand. And obviously my team first year running single seater as well, so we weren't really 100% sure on different types of things for setups because we only ever ran saloon cars. And everyone's been very helpful. So it was just a massive thanks to everyone.
What was that like for you? A few incidents I know.
Well, always disappointing to finish second. You're always that step off the win, but there's a few different things on the race which really shouldn't have happened, and that made us finish second. And the guy he ended up winning unfortunately. But hopefully the shirts will sort it out. If not, sort of take it on the chin. We drove really hard. We had the fastest lap by 2/10, and we were back down to like 5th at one point. We got back up, so we can hold our heads high.
Third place went to Oliver White. That was a great race, wasn't it?
It was. I enjoyed it. I had a good scrap at the beginning with Noel Dunn. Didn't manage to get past, which was a shame, because I think I could have tried and get to them. But credit to the two guys that finished in front of me. They drove very well and deserved the top podium positions. So.
Well, the sun's set here at Brands Hatch. That is it for another year of racing, and what a fantastic finale it was. The Formula Ford Festival never disappoints, and it certainly didn't this time as well. Thanks so much for watching. Join us next time.